My name is Alex. I was 17 years old when I was sentenced to life without parole. I was incarcerated for 29 years. I was born and raised in Guayama, Puerto Rico. My father was in the military. Very close-knit family, very religious. My father wanted us to grow up with a sense of culture, so that's why even though he was stationed or he was sent to other places, he kept us in Puerto Rico. The first time we were deployed with him was to Stuttgart, Germany. Then we moved to Fort Knox, Kentucky. And from Fort Knox, Kentucky, we moved back to Nuremberg, Germany. And from Nuremberg, Germany, my dad was stationed here in Michigan at TACOM, here in Detroit, Selfridge Air National Guard Base. As a young man, traveling a lot, we tend to leave our old friends and try to find new friends. So there's voids there. These voids tend to be filled with insecurities, and you meet an individual who everybody likes or whatever, or acts like everybody likes. You want to be with that individual, even though that individual might be into criminal activity or whatever. I played all type of sports in school. I was in ROTC. I volunteered at the hospital. I volunteered at the youth center and all this. But at the same time, I wanted to be out in the streets. I wanted to go to clubs when I was 14, 15, 16 years old. I didn't accept my own self. And when you do not accept your own self or who you are, you could get lost in other people. I had just turned 16 in August. This was in November. So the oldest, he came up with that idea for us to go to stop at this gas station and rob it. As I was exiting the premises, I shot the victim. His name was Bradley Margaret. I could never forget his name or face, so yeah. We are the last country that does this. I'm 40, about to be 48 in August. I committed this crime when I was 16. And I don't even remember my mindset being that kid. The maturity level wasn't there at all. I didn't see nothing. I couldn't think of past the next day, I was arrested later on that night. They didn't take me in front of the juvenile magistrate or nothing. It took me straight to the county jail amongst other prisoners. They told me, hey, look, young blood, that's how they say, young blood, you're facing a lot of time in prison. You're facing a life sentence. And I just remember I was in psychology class, and my attorney came, and she already had kind of watery eyes, She was like, the judge has decided to sentence you as an adult. And I was like, so what does that mean? She was like, that means you will be sentenced to life in prison. I still didn't, she told to me, and it was like, I still don't know what that means, It didn't dawn on me until about 1995, about 5 years into my prison sentence, that, I tell everybody, I was just sitting in my cell. I just started crying. And my cellmate was like, he looks down. I was on the bottom bunk, he's on the top bunk. He looks down and he's like, man, what's wrong with you? You all right? I said, man, Pat, they saying that we ain't never coming home. He was like, yeah, that's what they said. I was like, no, you don't understand. They're saying we are never, ever coming home. We're gonna die in here. To me, I always looked at an incarceration for the rest of the life like I'm in a tomb, and it's like a virtual tomb, I'm in a tomb. My family could come visit me and talk to me, but I'm basically already dead in the tomb. you know. We don't have no actual memories to build or nothing other than the visiting room, you know. In order to at least keep your wits about you, and that you can't focus on the external world. You can't do that. I gave up myself a sense of purpose. I wanted to be a purpose. I wanted to understand my mentality, you know, what drove me to this. The first thing I had to accept was that Alex is a child of God. I am an individual who can be good in this world. You know, I'm not dictated by one action, one night of who I am. I am the composition of everything that has happened in my past life and what could happen in my future life, dictated by what I do right now. I started to do all type of programs. I started to become an instructor, facilitator in a lot of self-healing groups, anger management groups, houses of healing. I started Spanish classes. Some part of me believed that I wasn't getting out. I was making a difference by teaching these individuals that who are getting out to hopefully they will not be back, you know? So it was like living almost through them, but I always had that faith inside of me that somehow, you know, somebody will see that I should be given a second chance. And my father one time told me, you'll come home, but you're gonna do a lot of time. I think that after the Montgomery case of 2016, that's when it became harder. When we started seeing juveniles go home, then you start to think like, okay, such and such went home, such and such went home. I'm in Macomb County. They only say there's only like 13 of us. Why haven't I gone to court? We had the resentencing hearing. In the resentencing hearing, I thought it went well. And then when I was standing in front of the judge, when he started to speak with like a harsh tone, you know, like, and I was like, oh. I got my head down. I didn't even want to look at him in the eye. And then he said, but however, Mr. Ayala. That's when I looked up like, I've heard howevers, and usually howevers are good, you know. He started to speak about all the good I've done, about, you know, the possibilities that I created for myself and my family. And I came home July 23rd, 2019. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so nervous the day before, that morning. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sit. I think I used the bathroom a million times. and I remember going through the first gate, and I'm standing there, I look out, and there's my mom, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nieces. Jackie is there, and all nervous, and just went away. And I worked for In-N-Out handyman in Macomb County. I travel. I try to travel. I try to enjoy life. I am a productive member of society. I am an uncle. I am a family man. I am an individual who cares. I am a man who attends church on Sundays. I am an individual who tries to help brothers out whenever they need it. I try to mentor. I am an individual who try to mentor young men into doing the right things. And one thing that I do know is that I am Alex Ayala.